is the Next Level Loan Officers podcast. To learn more about Next Level Loan Officers, go to becomnl.com.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Next Level Loan Officers Podcast, the #1 podcast for loan officers by loan officers in existence in the universe. Thank you for joining us today. I am Sean Zalmanoff. You may have heard my voice before. You may be watching us on YouTube and seeing us as well, too. Today, I am joined by Matt Brady. This is Tom Brady's younger, more handsome, more talented brother. You kind of do look like Tom Brady a little bit, actually. There'd be worse things to be compared to than the greatest quarterback of all time.
Exactly.
No, there's no relation there, is there, Matt?
No.
Okay. Well, it'd be cool if there was.
I'm a Giants fan, so I'm happy we beat them twice in the Super Bowl. So that's good.
Man, I was so happy that the Patriots did not get the undefeated season. Like I was a big Giants fan that day. That was David Tyree's catch against his head, wasn't it?
Exactly. Yep.
Awesome. Well, hey, friends. So if you want to find out a little bit about Next Level Loan Officers, you can go to becomnl.com. Man, we are a few weeks away from our mastermind in Vegas. Matt, I'm excited to see you there. And dude, I'm just excited for you to share with us your business. Almost nobody I have ever met in the mortgage industry in a year and a half has scaled their business as quickly as you have. So, man, pat yourself on the back a little bit because you deserve it. So you got licensed towards the end of 2020.
Correct.
And you just started out of the gate closing 8 loans a month, basically.
I was in a good situation. So I was a realtor before I got into it, but it was a part-time realtor. So for the past 10 years, I was a full-time firefighter. And being a firefighter, you have a lot of free time. So I've always ran businesses. I ran personal training business. I've ran a Clean Eats Cafe. Me and my dad still own that. And then I always like to stay busy and do something else. So my fiance was like, she's a realtor. So she's like, get your real estate license. So I got my real estate license and did that for about a year and a half. And it really wasn't, clicking, it just wasn't a good fit. So then I was just training one of my buddies who's a loan officer. And he was like, well, you should just get your license, let your fiance do the real estate side and you do the lending side. And it just clicked from there. And I got licensed in August and I was recruiting, interviewing places, and the guys that actually did the mortgage on my house that I had now reached out to me to do a refinance. And I was like, hey, I actually just got my license. And they were like, why don't you just come work for us, get paid to do your loan, and then, keep going from there. So once I got in, I was in one coaching program before I got Next Level. And, it was just trying to get my name out there. So I got aggressive. I worked and came up with this script for texting and Facebook, and I went through everyone on my phone. And luckily, it was a good time to get started as a loan officer because it was the middle of the refi boom, so it was a good time to get started. And so I went through everyone on my phone, everyone on Facebook. My fiance went through her phone, her Facebook. And from September until December, I closed like 31 loans for like $9 million, all refis, but it got me practicing 1003s, working applications, working out different scenarios. And I was still talking to realtors through that whole time. And that would be my biggest tip to new LOs is don't be afraid to talk to realtors. You went through the class, you're learning, read your guidelines. You already know more than most people, just from, being proactive with your research and stuff.
Wait, read your guidelines. New loan officers still read guidelines? Oh, but ones that close as much business as you do, I guess.
So, yeah. So, even though during that refi boom, I think I started with you guys in October or November. And I remember one of the big things you guys were talking about is, yes, this is this is a good time to be in, but you don't want to build your business on refis because now you're dealing with what we're dealing with right now, a rising rate market. And, if you don't have the right strategies for debt consolidation and stuff like that, where you can still get the refis, you still want to build your business on purchase business.
I remember the corner of the hotel bar that we were having this conversation at in Fort Lauderdale.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So that was my first mastermind event. Actually, when I got started is when you guys had the pods, and then I missed the first mastermind that I had, but I haven't missed one since. So, I'm sure we'll go into the masterminds. And I went to my first live last week in San Diego. So I brought my team there. So fast forward to 2021, just focusing on building processes, building my realtor relationships. I closed. So my first full year was 72 loans for 21 million. And I would say out of the 72, 60 were purchase. So still had a few refis, but
mostly. So your first 31 loans you closed out of the gate, all refis.
Yeah.
And then you close 72 loans in 2021, your first full year in the business.
Mm-hmm.
And 60 or 61, did you say?
60.
60 of 72. Man, that's an epic shift.
Yeah. And it's working right now because, I have set under contract closing in March, I'll be at 6 million by, the end of March. So still coming out strong this year, and I think it's all building on each other, building, not having, thinking the next month or the month ahead, because the work you do now in March is going to come to pay dirt in May or June. It's not a direct thing that the work you do now is going to be seen a week from now, but you're laying the foundation 2 months out, 3 months out.
That's the number one thing. And I have, when just talking to people in Next Level, and I happen to have a couple offices in Maine, and nobody's had a normal market. You don't even know what now you know what a normal market is, but I mean, it hasn't been a normal market in 2 years. And one of the great things that we need to have as loan officers is short-term memory, but all of a sudden it's like, man, well, it's a challenging winter. It's like, well, yeah. I mean, you got rates going up. Fortunately, home demand is doing nothing but increasing.
Yeah.
I mean, it'd be nice if it leveled off a little bit more, but home demand's there. And it's like, dude, people in Maine, they just don't list their houses until snow melts, and they got a good another month before that happens. Well, you measure yourself, the ATMs that, we'll talk about what some of your biggest ATMs are, your actions that matter. Right now, how many apps are you taking? If you're taking a lot of apps right now, you're going to have a lot of contracts in the future, as long as those are good, well-qualified applications that you're taking and putting in place. And it is, it's the name of the game. And, for all of us on this call who have been in mortgages for, greater than 3 years, this is just kind of the ebb and flow. We're really fortunate that the price elasticity, the mortgage rate elasticity, has not even done anything to move the needle for borrowers. Typically if rates go up a point, market grinds to a halt for at least a short period. There hasn't been any of that. And you're now, Matt, if I may share, you're now a retired fireman because of the mortgage industry.
Mm-hmm. So,
and because you want to get married and have kids, and then there's those strings attached to it too, right?
So one thing I wanted to hit on, where you talked about the daily actions that matter. I was listening to a podcast, and they said try to get your 4 points a day. So that's what I tell myself and my team to do. So your 4 points a day is, you got 1 point for having a good conversation. You get 2 points for getting an application. You get 3 points for getting a loan under contract, and you get 4 points for getting paid. So if you shoot to get those 4 points a day, no matter what way they fall into it, you're going to be a successful loan officer, because you're being proactive with your work. So I think that's a real simple way of, hey, strive for 4 points a day, however you have to do it.
It's that's The number one thing, like I wish that I would have joined. So January 2nd of this year was my 20-year anniversary in mortgages. And I mean, the first 7 or 8 years, it was just Groundhog's Day.
Mhm.
Somebody asked me, it's like, well, I've been in the business for 20 years, but I have about 13 years of experience. Because my first 7 or 8 years, I just did the same thing over and over. I mean, I continued to close more loans out of I just working harder than everyone else and dumb luck of not going away. But
Mhm.
man, it would have been really game changing to be in a coaching program right at the beginning of my career in 2002. Kudos to you uh, for doing that. And like Matt said, I mean, he joined another coaching program before. I'm biased, of course. I believe Next Level is the best. And again, you can go to becomenl.com to find out more for yourself. There is nobody, I can guarantee you, that delivers as much value as we do for $197 a month for the minimum payment that we take. But hey, you know what? If we're not the fit for you, that's great too. Go find your fit, because when you find your tribe of people, you win. And
And
so
I think
now, man, oh, go
the
ahead.
big difference I want to just say with people on the fence is, the thing with Next Level is the group of people that's in there, from your Alan Christensen's to your Sean Richards. It's just what they share in the group, especially being a new loan officer. Like, whenever someone posts something, I put it into my bag of tricks, like Alan's Bomb videos, Sean's homebuyer playbook. Well, it was his realtor playbook, I think, and I've turned it into a realtor playbook and a homebuyer playbook that we now send out to people. Um, I believe you had a guy, Ryan, who did I think that was in Fort Lauderdale. I started my homebuyer Facebook group.
Yeah.
It's got like 80 people in it that I've never met before, but it's still, hey, a way to put content out there and do that. And then Sean's 12-week realtor, reach out campaign of how he follows up and stuff like that. You're always learning something. And the crazy thing was, like in Dallas, how many loan officers were there within a 10-mile radius of each other, competition, and they're all sharing ideas on how to grow your business. So it's more of an abundance mindset in Next Level, that there's enough business for everyone, and we just want to make each other better.
Yeah, I mean, just whatever your group you're in. I mean, you didn't say my name at all inside of there. I thought I made things different, but it's okay. We kid around all the time, but the power is in the group. Whatever you join, like, you get out what you put in, and if you join something and expect results and don't do anything, well, you're not going to get anything out of it. And you know what? There's only one person you can ever blame for that, and that's yourself. Like you said, you missed the first mastermind, and you haven't missed one since, because of the power being inside of the group. And you were talking about your ATMs, and so somebody is thinking, man, wait, I just meetings, apps, make sure I get paid. Matt, it's just too simple. But the thing is that the ATMs, when you break down what works for you, whether it's Matt's point scale or anything else that you want to do, you just have a set amount of meetings you're doing a week, a set amount of calls you're doing the week, technology that you're teaching to your real estate partners
Mhm.
each week. And if you just do that and you do it more than everybody else, which means like you do it once or twice a week, you win. And it is that simple. Like we aren't in that hard of an industry.
Mhm.
It's going to be a different year. It's going to be a more challenging year. We're going to have more competitive offers. We have less inventory. We have rising rates. And so you got all those chop shop mortgage guys who, it was raining refis, man. Now they're buying trigger leads. I mean, I think every person we pull a new purchase app on gets like 97 calls in the first 3 hours from TransUnion, Equifax, and Experian selling their information. It's just the things that you have to deal with in order to win today, right?
Mhm. And I think it's maximizing that. We're past the days where you're just a loan officer. And I'm new, and I'm talking like I've been here. But from what I've learned and talking to people, you can't be an order taker anymore. You can't get a lead from a realtor partner somewhere online, send them an application link, send them a PDF pre-approval, and then wait for them to reach out to you when they get under contract. Because someone in next level near your town, they're probably going to take that lead from you then eventually because of the customer service you got to build out.
It is. I mean, we all hate the robo call centers. I mean, none of us are a big fan of, those companies that spend a gazillion dollars on Super Bowl ads or, worse.com or something like that that's out there that, you guys caught my joke there, I hope. And, like those people are order takers. And that's all they are. They're order takers with better advertising than what you have. And so if you don't like them, you can't compete on their level. And if you compete on their level, you're doing what Matt said. You're taking a simple application. You're waiting for the phone to ring, and you didn't provide any value. Educate your borrowers, educate your realtors with whatever it is you want to do. We recently did a podcast with a company called Lender Logics, who's got this really cool quick qual software. Man, we've incorporated that here in my team with our $5,000 guarantee that we do. And so all of these things are programmed in on demand for our realtors and for our borrowers that they can print themselves. So or save as a PDF so it's Thursday night at 9:00. They don't need to call me. They can go right on their app and do it. Sunday at noon, and with my family doing whatever I want to do, and just go right on their app and do that. And that's where you can put the technology with the service and winning.
My biggest one is Mortgage Coach right now, because I follow a lot of Dave Savage's training. They do a lot of training over there. And one of the ones I picked up recently is the all-in-one pre-approval. You put in Mortgage Coach, where, I did this for someone yesterday. It was like, here is the price you put on your application. Here's your max value. Here's your good rate. Here's your best rate. And here's an adjustable arm with rates going up. Arms are coming back into the picture now. So basically, I'm letting them choose between me instead of shopping me with someone else. Now they're shopping what's on that sheet of what option they want to go with by giving them those options where they don't have to go to an outside party.
Yep. Mortgage Coach, if you guys are using it and really you should be using it. It's a great tool. They have one of the most robust YouTube channels of free training. Some stellar originators across the country who are just closing a ton of business on there. They have good stuff. So Matt, one other thing that we're doing using Mortgage Coach for all of our teams right now is, I don't know what are rates today. They bounce it around 4.25, maybe.
They just took a doo-doo today with Jerome Powell, and he'd prefer the 25 over the 50 basis points because they can't fight inflation as well with that. So I think they dropped 72 bips.
Oh, damn Russia. Yeah. So let's say just rates are 4.25, man. Well, it wasn't a few months ago that they were in the 2s or, low 3s. So you're up a point on some borrowers. I know none of y'all listen to this podcast, but some loan officers, interest rates are a point higher since the last time they talked to a borrower they pre-approved last year. And if that's the case, Matt calls me and, hey, man, dude, you got this house under contract? Oh, great, man. I know I haven't called you in 4 months, but I'm really glad you thought of me. And hey, dude, you ready to lock in that 3.25? No, it's 4.25 today, dude. Matt is going to think I'm a snake oil salesman. I'm a scoundrel. How could I dare raise my, bait and switch me? It's like, bait and switch, man. You jumped on the hook and called me, man. I wasn't even going to call you. But then they're going to call somebody else, and that person's going to give them the same rate, or maybe they're going to give them 1/8 of a point less or $100 less in cost. And so you just lost a client. So what we've done with the same thing, I love what Mortgage Coach teaches about giving people different options. So they're shopping against products against just with you versus others. So we have gone and refreshed everybody's mortgage coaches, all of our TBD approvals, all of our people who have raised their hand, and we're the ones delivering the news. So, man, just in case it happens to be in a few days,
Yeah.
and they get their offer accepted, we've taken the shock of, oh shit, rates are up a point. Damn. Okay, so now they can, instead of going and calling somebody, they can go to Google. Oh yeah, man, they are up. All right, cool. Sean, I appreciate letting me know that. And so that's something that every single person should be doing. If you should do it through Mortgage Coach. If you don't have Mortgage Coach, you should at least be calling and talking.
You don't have to change the link either. Just be like, hey, go recheck your Mortgage Coach.
Yeah.
I updated it with the market, and you can do a video and just tell them on the video why, hey, because of whatever, I just want you to be up to date, And another thing that I started doing with Mortgage Coach is showing, here's where rates are today, here's where they were, here's where they could be going. So, and let them see the monthly payment difference, to where they're more prepared for that conversation. You're letting them know up front, hey, with how rates are going now, I want you to be prepared and comfortable. Whether rates improve, whether rates get worse, you're still comfortable around that ballpark monthly payment.
All right, so I want to give you all listening today. We're bumping up on time. We like to keep these short and sweet, so you can listen to these on your drives to and from work. But in this same vein, I want to tell you what we're coaching realtors to say right now. Because guess what? They don't know what to tell clients and people sitting on the fence. And so for listings, listings are at a premium. I was telling you about our offices in Maine, and that, everybody's like, well, wait until it sells, wait until it thaws. It's like, dude, sell it now, because there's no inventory and they'll pay even more than they're going to pay in the springtime, which is counter to what people believe in normal markets, as we say. So what we're telling all our realtors to say is being like, hey, listen, rates have jumped over a point in a very short time. Mr. Person who is going to list your house, like, the crazy thing is, usually when this happens, there's a contraction in the real estate market, and it hasn't happened at all. There hasn't been almost any sensitivity to rates from borrowers. Now, I think the housing market's going to be strong, but I can get more for your house today than I've ever been able to get for your house. I can't guarantee that in the future. So if you list today, I can make some pretty strong guarantees for what your house is going to sell at. I think you're going to be fine in 3 months from now. Can't promise anything. And so use the scarcity mentality. Teach them to do what the media and everybody else doesn't. I mean, granted, I think in 3 months they're going to get as much or more for their house. It's going to be just fine. But we don't have a crystal ball and we can't predict that. And there's nothing that I said in that statement that's not true. So help themselves get people off fence. You'll close more loans. They'll love you more. Matt, anything else that you want to tell your adoring new fans on our Next Level podcast?
Just what is it, 197, 199 a month?
Yeah, something like that.
It's like you're gonna get so much out of it. You get one idea to close one loan, and you can pay for a year of the coaching program. And like I said, I get as much out of the people in the group as you get out of the coaches. So it's a strong group of people in that group, and if you want more, book one-on-one calls with people. There's always something going on. They do a lot of live events. They do a lot of stuff. You get coaching calls twice a week. I just you get so much out of it, and structure. And I don't think you can do. I've always had a coach, no matter what business I was in, no matter what I did. And even the best athletes in the world have trainers. So even if you feel like you're really good at this, you can always still need the accountability or some fresh ideas with what's going on. And I guess that's what I have to say about that.
Well, I was going to ask you to say something about yourself. Thank you for saying things about us. And again, go to becomnl.com to find out more information. Matt, you're growing a pretty amazing business. You've recently opened up your own branch. I don't think we said where in the Carolinas you're at. So, man, if somebody wanted to reach out to you, don't give your cell phone number on here because the recruiters will. But man, tell somebody how to look you up and how you could help another loan officer right now too.
Definitely. I'm located in Charlotte, North Carolina. I live right across the border in South Carolina. So Carolina is where a lot of my business comes from. That's where I came with the Carolina Mortgage Coach. That's my website, carolinamortgagecoach.com. Instagram's Carolina Mortgage Coach Matt. Facebook's actually my name, Matthew Brady. So reach out for any questions. Like Sean said, I opened a branch in August. I have 5 LOs that work for me. 3 of them are firefighters. So, we're growing. And the biggest thing I can tell a new loan officer or even a loan officer doing now is you have to be proactive in your approach every day. You have to plan out your day. There's a mortgage coach talks about winning by noon. So are you setting up your day? Are you being proactive with your day or reactive? And you have to be proactive in this business instead of, because you're going to have no family life if you're always reactive and you don't set boundaries. I think that's the biggest thing. I think that's the most important thing I've learned as a new LO is setting boundaries in the beginning, because when you're a new LO, you're trying to keep everyone happy and do anything to get business. But when you don't have to, it makes the conversation, it changes when you have that mindset talking to a realtor that, oh, I need your business. I'll do whatever you want to. That you're not going to be happy in that relationship. So, set your boundaries, plan your week, plan your day, and just take it from there.
Yeah. Be somebody's prize. You're the prize. Don't be their bitch. Yeah. There you go. I said it. All right, y'all. Matt, thanks so much for joining us. I'm Sean Zalmanoff. Next Level Loan Officers Podcast is the #1 podcast for LOs by LOs. Peace out, y'all.
See you guys.